I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, as we travel along this journey, this road that we call life, you're guaranteed to hit some bumps, some curves, some unexpected twists in the road. Well, navigating those twists, those bumps, those curves is the secret to life. Mark Murray has spent a lot of time thinking about all of this, and he has put together a book that is appropriately called Why. It is written by Mark Murray. It is available online, and we are delighted to have Mark join us here today on Spotlight. Thank you so much for joining us here today, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
You have an interesting life. You are a writer, you are a hard worker, you work as a welder. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've pretty much welded my whole life. It was kind of my God-given talent, basically. So the writing thing kind of came in later when I decided that I needed to do something for some retirement and, something that would make some money without having to put in a physical hour for it. So that's kind of what drove me to writing. But then I'm pretty happy that I have done it because I've got several I want to write.
Right. And you've actually been recognized a lot for this work already.
A little bit, I think. As far as I've been through a couple of different publishers, which didn't work out real well. The self-publishing world's kind of a tough one anymore, and that actually have found out that a lot of my royalties I was supposed to be receiving had been basically stolen from me. But anyhow, it's onward and upward. We'll go from here, and so that's. But other than that, I've been a welder since like 1978.
Gotcha.
But I pretty much knew that I was going to be a welder from the time I was 2, if you can find, if you can believe that. But
I imagine your dad or an uncle or somebody in your family was doing it as well, right?
Oh no,
No, really?
I'm the only one that. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting story in and of itself. Yes.
Yeah, because if you're not introduced to that stuff as a young age, it's kind of hard to pick it up. But obviously you did, and you've excelled at it.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your book. I talked at the beginning about navigating this road of life, and we all do hit bumps and we do hit curves and unexpected twists. You've hit some as well, and that's kind of your motivation, right?
Yep, pretty much. It's about my everyday trials and tribulations, basically, and all the rough things I went through, like addictions and drugs and stuff like that I got over. And after I finally recovered, which took quite a while, I decided to write about that kind of stuff since I knew so much about it. Anyway, I'm doing much better now because of healing and all of that. And I did a lot of reading also, and been through a lot of different programs, especially the government ones. But I no, I that and I have psychiatrist friends and stuff like that. So I have a lot of knowledge on all of it. So I have some good answers and some ways
When
to
you
help people out.
ask yourself the question, why do you think you followed that path of self-destruction during times in your life?
Basically, most of it was born from my childhood. I think, a lot of the problems people face in life later on, anyways, pretty much always boils back to the childhood thing and different things. And when my mom and father got divorced, I think was the biggest part. And so, yeah, that's.
And that was also very tough in the era that we were growing up. Not too many parents got divorced.
No, and yeah, and I come from a real small town in the Black Hills. It's Lead, but it had the largest gold mine in America, actually second in the world, I believe, at the time. And everybody worked in the mine. So all the families, I mean, it was a pretty tight knit community and everything. So, but my mom, after the divorce, they moved to Colorado, and so when I came to Colorado, I was somewhat wild. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of guidance, but it all worked out okay.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how you get there. It just matters how you get there at the end.
As long as you are there, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Was writing the book itself kind of therapeutic?
Oh, it was huge, huge.
Yeah.
After I got into it and everything, it helped me a lot just doing that. I would advise anybody to journal a little bit about their lives, and it'll help you understand some of the decisions you made.
Yeah, because once it's written down there and you can reread it and think about it, and why did I do that? Why did I hang out with this person? Why did I do that this night? You start to get the questions to
Yeah.
the answer, or the answers to the question that you pose there. Why? You know, why do you think, aside from yourself, people tend to be self-destructive, that they're trying to hurt themselves or punish themselves because of, bad feelings about themselves?
Sometimes, but most of the time, addictions come from trying to make yourself feel better.
Mm,
And you're trying, it's a self-medication process that you do to, try not to think about certain things or get over different guilts that you might have, or, things like that. And it all boils down to basically what we think about, and what our beliefs are, where our beliefs come from, whether it be religion or,
mm.
whether it's right or wrong. I mean, that's, it's all in the belief system. And if you can just get yourself to think positive instead of the negative, then, you find your way out.
Right. The actor Rob Lowe talks a lot about his addiction to both alcohol and drugs. And basically he says it was fun. He was 19, 20 years old and partying with girls all over Hollywood or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He was
I,
being destructive, but at that time, at 20 years old, it didn't feel self-destructive until one day he realized that he couldn't get up and go to work. And that's when he realized that I've got to stop. And he says from that point forward, he just completely stopped. I mean, it wasn't a tapering, it wasn't a 12-step process for him. He was fortunate he was able to just stop.
yeah, yeah. Some can, but most of them have a hard time once you get addicted to something. Then the self guilt that you feel about being addicted really makes it even that much worse. So, but there's programs like, I mean, I probably got more out of the the drug program that's, available to the public. Narcotics Anonymous basically
Right.
is what it is, just like the AA meetings. I like the Narcotics Anonymous for the simple fact they cover all addictions. I mean, whether it be sex or whatever.
Right.
And I got a lot out of that. So, but and that's what I would recommend if anybody's out there and they are addicted. I mean, there's NA meetings everywhere in the world, and they really do help. It just got to get yourself to one, and all you got to do is, I mean, they're easy to find.
Yeah. Yeah, there are resources out there. Like you said, if you want to find help, you can find help. It's got to start with yourself saying enough. I would imagine that's the point where you get to, is enough.
Yeah, pretty much either that or something happens, you get thrown in jail, or or nearly kill yourself, and it's all of a sudden you wake up and you say, man, I got to do something different. So
Exactly. You get a good kick in the pants and you're like, wait a minute, I
yeah,
can't go on like this anymore, right?
that's correct.
Yeah. Tell us about what other books you have in your mind that you'd like to put onto paper, or maybe you've already put some onto paper already, besides why.
Yeah. Well, the next one that's coming out is Who the Hell's Mark the Welder? I figure after they read why, and if they like it and kind of wonder where I got my ideas and stuff, it's pretty much why I wrote that. I figured that would answer them questions. But I've got several others that I'm going to write on the chapters that I have in the first book, like, the as far as practice makes perfect, and
Mhm.
why are we addicted, or, all pretty much, you could make a book out of any one of the chapters in there. So I'm going to do a couple of
Exactly.
those. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, you were born, you said, in the Black Hills. Have you ventured back to the Black Hills at all? It's a
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
part of the
I go,
country.
I pretty much, I ride my Harley up there every year to go visit. And the neat thing about it is when I go back to my hometown, even though the house isn't there anymore, I mean, the lot is still there, and that's usually kind of where I stay. But everything else like all the paths and stuff in the forest and all that stuff, everything's all still exactly the same as it was when I was a kid, which is hard to believe. But
Yeah.
is
That's
every
also a great place to go and think. I often return to my hometown and I meet buddies that I worked with in the delicatessen when I was, 14, 15 years old. And we get together once or twice a year. And as middle-aged to older men now, we hoist a beer or two. And
Yeah.
it really is a connection. You start feeling those feelings that you had as a teenager. And it's really quite a great experience.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I plan on buying some property up there and moving back up there eventually here. Because yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a good place.
Colorado itself is probably, I think, the most beautiful state that doesn't have an ocean attached to it.
Yeah, it's one of them for sure. But there's so many people moving into the state right now too that it's getting pretty crowded. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's changing its character a little bit. Have you been working on screenplays as well?
Yes, actually, we did a short film to promote the book and everything, and it's done pretty well actually in the film festivals and all. So I'm pretty happy with the way all that came out, and it should work good. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, it's smart to, work several different angles when you're trying to promote anything. And I saw the short film and I thought it was wonderful. And so congratulations on that. The name of the book is Why. It is written by Mark A. Murray. He is a welder by trade. He's also an author, and he has written a wonderful book that will help anyone cope with the struggles that they have in their life. And everybody has struggles in their lives. Mark Murray, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.
Why do we think the way we do? Say the words we say. Believe the things we believe. These are the questions we need to ask and answer for ourselves if we aim to live a happy life. Why do I do these things that make me suffer? However, my life has been anything but typical. I've pretty much marched to the beat of my own drum. I always say, if not for self-inflicted wounds, we would have no problems. And the answer to all our problems in life begin and end in one place. Because in the end, only you can give yourself that satisfaction in life. Nobody else can do that for you.